Hello, good people of the internet. I am sorry for my voice, but for the last couple of days I have been seriously very sick. The doctor even guessed that it may have been a certain virus of Oriental origin, if you know what I mean. Thankfully, it turned out it wasn't that. It is flu season in my country, so it was just an infection. I had high fever, coughing, sneezing, all that. Truth be told, I'm recovering from it right now, but I still should be probably lying in bed, sweating the bed sheets and all that. But I've decided that it would be much better idea to go and record more YouTube content.
Not a great plan.
So, as a short recap, because it has been in the news for a couple of days, the Marvels turned out to be a complete disaster. In one of my previous videos, I said that it would be second worst box office result for MCU, the first being the Incredible Hulk, but guess what? It turned out that Incredible Hulk has earned $55 million when the Marvels actually did 47 million. So it's worse than the very first MCU movie when MCU was still in its infancy. So that is saying a lot about it. In this video, I would like to discuss insanity and insane people, because I gave it a lot of thought and I believe that this is the only plausible explanation right now as to why to Disney and Marvel, of course by extension, keep doing exactly the same things. We already have confirmations. They are not going to change their course of action. On the contrary, they are going to double down. So, The Marvels, a movie featuring three strong, independent superhero characters, has turned out to be a complete disaster. A cinematic catastrophe, nobody liked it, and they cannot even blame this on men not appearing, because guess what? 61% of the audience were actually men. In a post-credit scene of The Marvels, we have Kamala Khan recruiting two girls for the new Avengers team, which now is going to be introduced to the MCU, and guess what? So far it looks like it is going to be most female team, because it worked perfectly in previous movie, right? Let's talk a little bit about the characters that we already know about. First off, Kamala Khan, I have absolutely nothing against her. She was actually the best part of the Marvels. The actress was likable and obviously she had fun, and I believe she was the brightest part of the cast. So at least there is that. However, she recruited two more characters, first off being Kate Bishop. As it is written here, like Khan, Bishop is a legitimate Avengers superfan, having spent a lot of time gushing over Jeremy Renner's Carmagione original Avenger in the festive 2021 miniseries. Of course, they mean Hawkeye. She's the new Hawkeye because she became the part of that MCU way of swapping characters. Older characters are no longer, allowed to have their time on screen. They can retire, but in the meantime, we will put exactly the same characters, just a little bit more politically correct, so to speak. So that's how we got, for example, She-Hulk instead of Hulk. That's how we got female Hawkeye instead of Hawkeye. That's how we got Black Captain America instead of Captain America, and so on and so forth. There will be more examples here in a second. When it comes to Kate Bishop, actually, she wasn't actually the worst. In 2021, when Hawkeye TV series came out, this was just the beginning of this whole MCU craze, so at least this character was treated with a little bit of respect. Kate Bishop at least was looking up at him as her mentor, so at least that was fine. However, this is still basically a female Hawkeye, and the audience knows that. But then we have Cassie Lang, a female Ant-Man, because obviously he needs to be replaced as well, and Jesus Christ, that character was so terrible, so annoying, so obnoxious in Quantum Mania that I'm really surprised she made the list. In the first two installments of the Ant-Man franchise, she was basically a nice girl who loved her father, and that was fine. In the third part, in Quantum Mania, they made her into an activist. You know, the kind of blue-haired activist who is yelling at the police and call them F-ists, because that is what is trendy in the USA, apparently, at least according to Hollywood standards, right? She is also an expert in quantum technology, being able to figure out many things other characters couldn't, because teenage girls in the MCU are all geniuses, that is obvious. And on top of that, she is absolutely disrespectful towards her own father, accusing him of not doing enough to save the world, saying that to a person, to a guy who literally saved the whole entire half of the world, because if it wasn't for Ant-Man and him being stuck in the quantum realm and figuring out that time travel is possible, the snap wouldn't be able to be undone. So she was basically yelling at the guy who saved the world that he didn't do enough to save the world. And one more obvious character. This character is not yet confirmed. It is half confirmed. It's going to be Ironheart, because obviously you also need female Tony Stark in the MCU. Also a teenage girl, also a genius who did exactly the same as Tony Stark, but without any background, any learning, anything. She just did it because she is strong, independent, great girl. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Disney's answer to the Marvels flopping. Another team with more strong independent female superheroes. I'm sure this time it's going to work perfectly. If that wasn't enough, we have another piece of news, and look, this is not even annoying. This is so funny, because we have another female-led superhero team, this time from Sony. With Madame Web, Jesus Christ. It's described as a standalone origin story. Madame Web, real name Cassandra Webb, is a mutant with clairvoyant powers who has been associated with various Spider-Women in the comics. The movie is set before Madame Web is in the wheelchair she used in the comics. So, and we are going to have more female Spider-Women in that movie. I wonder how it is going to fare. The trailer is already downvoted into oblivion. Yep, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. 74,000 likes, 105,000 dislikes. I don't think it's going to be a hit, not after everything that happened previously with the MCU female heroes. This is Sony, however, and things that happened in Spider-Verse made by Sony so far hasn't been so bad, so I will give this thing benefit of a doubt, but I don't think it's going to have a very good outcome, because Marvel and MCU already destroyed fans' trust in these kinds of franchises. I'm sorry to say. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is how Disney and Marvel are going to respond to female-centric franchises, female-centric movies, TV shows flopping all across the board, by doubling down and introducing even more female-centric shows, even more female superheroes. And now, let's go back to what I said at the beginning of the video about insanity. Do you know what definition of insanity is? The definition I am about to quote has been erroneously attributed to Albert Einstein, but it's not true. Someone else came up with this. Listen. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. End quote. By that definition, there may be something wrong with people responsible for making big decisions for Disney and Marvel. Because if after so many failures, so many flops, so much money lost, they still keep doing the same thing, if they still keep doubling down and churning out the same content, people hate, the audience is already gone. They already lost the audience's trust. There is only indifference and apathy, and they still keep promising more and more female superheroes, strong, independent ones. There has to be something wrong with these people. This is my theory, because normal people in business, seeing results of their actions, seeing that their product is simply not picked by the customer base, they would have said, we need to change the course. We need to start producing product that is actually liked and desired by people, so people will buy the product and pay us, otherwise we will go bankrupt. That's not even the ABC of business, that's a common sense. But maybe it has to go that way. Maybe they have to go bankrupt to learn something, anything. Because you know what, I personally don't believe in that superhero fatigue. What happens right now is the MCU fatigue. MCU fatigue. People are tired of the same tropes being presented to us over and over and over again for the last couple of years. And the only good thing it did is it launched really couple of YouTube careers. So I hope it will help me as well, but even if it helps me, I really liked phases 1, 2 and 3, and it is kind of sad what became of this whole Marvel universe. Oh well, so if it has to be like this, then it will be like this. Once again, I'm very sorry for my voice, for me not being able to speak more clearly, but I'm still a little bit dizzy and I'm still recovering. Next time I hope I will be sounding and looking a little bit better. So, till next time, thank you for listening. Cheers.
Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed my video, please subscribe, drop a like and press the notification bell so you won't miss anything I upload. And if you didn't enjoy this, well, subscribe anyway. At least you will know when there is a new video to actively hate.